Alright, so just some basics of movement type stuff that I was covering the other day. Now, as people know, Dai Shu Quan, the martial art, has a lot of different styles in it. My Ru Fist or Ru Quan, like the fighting art, just the fight. So there's basically two versions of Dai Shu Quan. There's Ru Quan, which is just stand-up fighting. No deep stances, no forms, no qigong breathing, none of that stuff. It's just stripped down fighting, knee, elbow, and headbutts, getting close, using the elbows, back fists, grabbing on, all that stuff, using the body type thing, right? Dai Shu Quan has all that, yet it's also got the body striking. Imagine this is a tree striking, conditioning type stuff. All this sort of striking that I do. Palm. Like arm striking sort of stuff. All that sort of stuff. Doing all the, you're getting your knife hand stuff going. Strengthening all that, doing that on trees. Doing the forearms, all different ways. Just using this as an example. Dai Shu Quan's got more kung fu type stuff, more Tai Chi-esque stuff, in the forms and that. But yeah, all the breathing and different things. So it's like the full system. So anyone who wants to do, like in the future, whatever, they might want to start off just doing the Ru Fist stuff, which is like the sparring, striking. You'd be hitting bags, you'd be hitting trees and stuff too. Obviously, like conditioning the body. Getting it used to that. I don't know, the G forces or hitting immovable objects and stuff like that. Like it just translates to power, honestly. I honestly think if MMA fighters and stuff like that were doing the tree striking and that, I think they'd be even better. It just creates a power where you can literally just punch something with your whole forearm, pretty much your bicep too, your shoulder. It's just nasty. So anyway, in saying that, on a different note, some people have been asking about some techniques and stuff like. Some people think that, say I was trying, like the other day, I was trying to show this movement where it's literally your body, when your body turns here, like you're corkscrewed up, right? It's like when a karate person throws out their punch type thing. It's coming from the waist, the hips, ankles and all that. It's this movement. It's that from the hips, but it's got a lot to do with your ankles and your knees, your whole body really. So what's going here is if I'm down here and I'm corkscrewed up, I'm literally using that motion there to fire these arms off. And then it fires off this way, fires off that way, right? If I'm ever doing stuff like that, it's strictly for either exercise, It's a traditional movement. It's for body mechanics. It's not for combat. Like, I might say that that movement is the same sort of feeling as when you throw a punch and you get that. See how I'm rotating the rib, the hip across to get, and if I keep that in tight, right, I'm throwing that punch out there with elastic. It's got that elastic power to it, because you can see my body from here. It wants to come back, so that's what brings that punch through wherever that is. So that's, I'm not a boxer, but this is how the boxers, I'd say, are using that elastic movement from our hip flexors, from our hamstrings, from just everything, all of our muscles working together, right? Just want to clear that up, that if I'm doing like a movement like a traditional piqua or tongbei, again, there's other styles in the arts that I've done in the warm-ups that you could go, there's 20 different styles of Kung Fu, alright? In all that. So, I mean, when I used to train with my instructor, she would do, in the years that I trained with her, every time I trained with her would be a different warm-up pretty much. And like a different style of martial art. It was just, or different parts of those martial arts. Incredible how much diverse range there is. So, anyway, if I'm doing something like this, right, here, shooting that up, this comes down, shoot that, shoot, this sort of stuff, I can make it martial, because I've done it before. I can apply those principles to a punch. So yeah, I can bring it up. It can be like a back fist type thing. I could change it into an elbow, because all I'm doing here is like here, the punch could come out. See? It could come out. Changes that. I can change that to a martial movement. But if I'm ever just, say, doing this movement, it's not for fighting. Just something I want to get across, because to me it's blatantly obvious that's not for fighting. But if I modify it, and the way my mind works, how I analyse and how I can see things, like it's a talent. Some people just have a talent. Some people can just pick a face, I don't know, pick a face of an actor that looks like another actor and it turns out to be that actor. Like, I don't know, like they can just, facial recognition, I don't know, there's just different things. People have different abilities in that way, right? So in another clip, what I did was, and I I repurpose things. So I changed that movement here, which is usually like an open hand in Baji or Piqua, a system that's trained with Baji Tran, really wide, expansive, style. That movement's usually arms open, right? And then part of it, when you do it, you actually come down here and you shoot the arms out. That doesn't matter, that part, but that's part of the sequence. So what I did was, I was like, oh, how can I change that? And it sort of, to me, seemed like a bit of a Kempo technique, actually, where you punch here, come across, and you're doing like zigzag, going on a zigzag, building up power here, because if I was striking here, and then, because I'm going to turn the body now, striking this way, then I'm striking that way. It's just that power, that crossing. They call it in martial art or in kung fu jing, crossing jing or energy. So, and then you got fudging, which is like explosive, like an explosive movement just done. It's like from a split second, like there's no movement, and then boom, there's explosive movement. That's fudging, and to me, that's the twisting of the body, and that's the pushing, like pushing forward and back type stuff. You know, like if you're going to do a punch from here, punch out from here. You know, it's that explosive striking. Anyway, that's probably enough of that. It's not easy to get these ideas across. Anyone want to make martial art or have a crack at doing it, feel free. You know, because everyone is a critic. I wouldn't say everyone, but I've got a lot of supporters, but there's critics out there that just look at something and, you know, to try to tear it down. But anyway, that's on them. So, moving forward, some people were interested in the stances. So, what I'm doing is from what's called a Xingyi stance. So I suppose if you were to kneel down, come up here, one foot's like, so like that would be what, a 90 degree, I guess it's on a 45 type thing. You're probably stepping out just where, I guess where it feels comfortable would be what I would say. So, when I used to train Kempo and stuff, you'd lines on floorboards and different things can help. So I'd probably say like that. But it's just what feels comfortable. You might like your back foot like facing forward more. I tend to like it forward more. So this would be like a back weighted sort of cat. Then you got like a neutral. So the weight would be about 60-40, right? And what you do here is you're pushing off that back leg. You're lifting this leg and you're pushing now. That can push and that can come in like with a flat foot. That's the traditional way of doing it. So here, so the camera can see, here I'm like pushing like that. So if I wanted to do like a palm type movement, like bagua type stuff, and in Xingyi, which is the style I'm using, this is called Santi, which is a certain stance or posture. When you step, just like that shuffles in. So this can be found like really, you do it in karate and different stuff. It's just different. It's wider, and you know your weight sort of middle, depending, like probably higher here. And when they might step out, like that back leg could come, like it's like a push off. So I mean, if they were to do the sort of strike here, they kind of come down more like here and in their reverse type punch here, like that. depending whether this is open or closed in, probably more open. They're traditional ways like that, like a Zenkutsudachi. A karate, traditional, sort of like that. You know, like a, which I don't like that at all. Just because I don't do as much of. So my strike like that's more higher and yeah, bent back leg more, not a locked out leg.